Slainte and welcome to another episode of the Crafty Beer channel. What have I got for you today? Well, I've got a stunning Sydney winter's day, as always. Not even complaining about the cold today. Oh man, it's a stunner. I think 19 degrees. But anyway, what have I got for you? Well, not a traditional video for me. Normally I'm sitting here reviewing a beer, but not today, not today. For those of you who don't know, I've actually been in America for the last three and a half weeks watching World Cup soccer. The plan was bring the video with me, the microphone and all, and I'll go into a couple of breweries, pubs, live games, do a bit of footage, put it together when I get back, and you can watch it. That didn't happen. I think I underestimated just how much A, beer I was going to drink, B, how much football I was going to be watching, and C, how much I really didn't want to do it. No, look, to be honest, when I was there, there's 3 to 4 games on a day. We were going from pub and fan zone and games itself. And the last thing I wanted to do was take out a camera and put it in people's faces, so I didn't do it. Now, I took plenty of pictures and I had a hell of a time, but I didn't get any footage. So I've come home and I've thought, I really do want to put it out there and sort of let you know how my trip went. So I'm going to do this video today. As you saw in the thumbnail, this is my experience of my trip to America, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now we're talking about beer, of course. So let's get into it. Now, before I do start, I do have a beer here. Oh, look, check out the stubby holder. Isn't it fantastic? You can purchase it in any major retailer in the world. If they don't have it, they're not major. I have got the Mountain Culture, of course. Why wouldn't you? I'm just going to sit here and have a drink of that there. I've already covered it before, but as you can see, it's open. I will let you know that the wonderful world of recording was halfway through this video, and my app decided it needs to be updated halfway through recording. So it shut down for like 10 minutes doing its update. So thanks very much. Anyway, we're starting again. Why not? Because I bloody forgot where I was up to. Let's get on with it. Come on, Dino. Now, I have my notes here. Why do I have notes? Because Dino jibber jabbers and he forgets where he is and he forgets things. So these notes will keep me on track. Maybe. The good. Let's get on to it. Okay, so the good. First of all, now, and this isn't beer, by the way, but I do want to say that any trip is as good as its hosts. The Americans, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think it has to be said, especially, look, in this world, and I don't want to get into all of that stuff, but in the world that we're in at the moment and the world that we were in before we went, we weren't even sure we were going to make it. People pulled out of the trip as well. So it was all getting very messy. And when we got there, honest to God, it was just amazing. The people are so friendly, welcoming, so excited to have us all over there for the World Cup. They get into it, the atmosphere in the pubs, the atmosphere at the games, unbelievable. If I met you over there and you're watching this video, which would be a shock, thank you so much. And if I didn't, honestly, any Americans watching this here, thank you. What a great country, what a great host. Thank you so much. But let's move on to the beers. Now, I've written down here breweries. I really didn't get to too many breweries because, again, you're watching World Cup soccer, so you're sitting in the pubs really watching it, or you're going to the game, so you weren't really sitting in breweries as much. But we did visit. I went to New Jersey, Boston, Ohio, and back to New York, staying in Manhattan. When we're in Ohio, and you're sitting there thinking, why on earth did you go to Ohio? I went to Canton, Ohio. Look it up. There's only one reason why you go there. You'll see. But while we were there, we went to Unfused Brew Hall. Now, this is a beautiful little brewery that we found pretty much in the middle of town, downtown Canton. Opened in March this year. Unfused Brew Hall. Why is it called Unfused? I'll say I've got some pictures and stuff, and I'll put them in as I go, especially of the beers that I drank that I enjoyed and didn't. But Unfused because it was set up and owned by the biggest electrical company in Ohio, in Canton. I can't really remember, but it's owned by an electrical company, hence the name, Unfused. Okay, interesting. But yes, cracking beers. We had so much time, so much good times there. I had 3 breweries lined up in that town. We only went to this one because it was so good. Highly recommend the Saison. If you go, and you should, the Saison, the Czech Pils. So it had a sort of a German, European style, as well as having your usual American higher percentage beers. But these are the ones that I get into. They had a porter as well, which was really nice. Those beers, superb. I'll find pictures, I'll shove them in. Highly recommend it. What a good way to spend your time. And we actually got to watch the football there as well. So thanks so much to the staff. Well done, brilliant time. I will chuck out another one, the Bronx Brewery. We went to the Bronx Brewery in Chelsea Yards or something like that. So not in the Bronx, but down near Manhattan. And again, look, this was just like a little small setup, really cool. They had a quiz on when we were in there, so they let me watch the football. The quiz was on. We came second out of 2 teams, so quite happy to come second, thank you. And some of the beers were pretty good, so really enjoyed it. They are 2 of the biggest enjoyable things that I had. And also I will chuck out one more actually, now that I remember. We did go to a minor league game, the Brooklyn Cyclones. No idea who they're playing. They did give us a $60 ticket, which included a free hat, 5 beers and a hot dog. What a deal. And the beers that we were drinking were the Coney Island, I think it was Coney Island IPA. That was really enjoyable. Yeah, what a fun day that was. Highly recommend you go and check out minor league baseball if you're over there. Okay, moving on to my next. And you know I was looking forward to this one. Guinness, yes, the good Guinness. So Guinness in this one falls into 2 categories, the good and the bad. I'll explain the bad in a minute, but the good, it's Irish Guinness. It was creamy, it was beautiful. Oh, I was so happy. It was a 3-week oasis in the middle of this horribleness in Australia with their beer, their Guinness. Like, now it is proven. There is no way on this earth that the Guinness in Australia is anywhere near as good as Irish Guinness. It's just not. That's how it is. Taking a break. What a beer. So yes, Guinness in America, thank you. Even in Ohio, and I will say, I'll look up the name, I think it was called Mulligan's, and it was just random. We were like way out of the town, I think near Akron maybe, and we went over there because it had an Irish name and it was the only pub that we could see. Went in, got a pint of Guinness, and I was like, I think this is the best pint of Guinness I got in America. It was cracking. And I told the guy and he didn't really care, so, so they don't really care. Moving along, ba-bam, the bad. Okay, now I have scribbled this in here, ice cold beer. It's just a quick note that, is ice cold beer really a good thing? We went into a restaurant when we got abandoned in Dallas. That's another story. We're not going to even talk about that now. But when we were there, we went into a restaurant. They were showing the next game. We got some food and the beers, they came out, and I'll put a picture in. They advertise how happy they are to show you that this is ice cold beer. And actually, when you take a drink of it, the ice does hit you in the lips as you're drinking it. It's a bad idea, but it actually wasn't too bad. I didn't mind it. So is that a bad thing for the beer or a bad thing for us? I don't know. But anyway, it's going into the bad. We'll jump back to the Guinness. It was the pours. The pours were disastrous. I got it in plastic cups for no reason. We were the only people in the bar, and I was still given a little plastic cup of Guinness. I was given it in another weird tulip type, I don't even know, like a vase. It looked like a vase, and it was poured in that. The pours, the head was this size. It was just all wild, disgraceful. But yet, it only sits in the bad and not the ugly because it was bloody nice still. So it goes to show you that if you take Irish Guinness and you pour it horrendously, it doesn't matter. It's still good. So just a little one there for you. Oh, the cost of beer. I've written down the cost of beer. The prices weren't too bad. They probably came out similar to Sydney, I guess. But it was the tipping. And yes, another foreigner complaining about tipping in America. Honestly, guys, get rid of it. Fix it. My God, it gives you anxiety when you go into any pub or restaurant. You're like, oh God, how much is it actually going to cost me? It's not costing me what they're telling me. And then I don't know, am I tipping right? Am I giving too much? Am I giving too little? I think we came up with the theory that 20% is roughly what you do. But 20% is huge. For every beer that I'm buying that's about $10, I'm giving you 2 more, whatever that is, whatever 20% is, $2 or so per beer. It's wild. Anyway, here's Dean fixing it for you. take your 20%, put it onto the cost of the things on the menu or on the till, whatever. And then when we pay you, give the 20% to the staff. I don't know. Is that too simple? It seems too simple. Anyway, tipping caused so much anxiety, so much hassle. Anyway, beer selections in the pubs. I was disappointed with it. Again, this is just my part of the trip, right? So it could well be that I was going to all the wrong pubs, but we went to a hell of a lot of pubs because we tried to not stay all day in one. We would watch a game, then we would go off somewhere else that's been recommended, stay there for that game, go off somewhere else. So we were moving around, checking them out. What I found is, thank God, nearly every pub, especially in New York and Boston, had Guinness. So thank God for that. So I sat and drank that there. But my mate, oh, you'll see in the ugly some of the beers that he got. You were getting macro lagers that were just terrible. There was no craft on tap anywhere, really. So again, I could have been wrong, going to the wrong pubs. That was my experience. The pubs really just seem to be, and look, probably something similar to a lot of the pubs here in Sydney as well, that you're just getting your VBs, your Carltons, your Cheese News, all that stuff on tap, and they don't really have a good selection of other beers. And that's what I found over there. But thank God for Guinness. Moving right along. Pint sizes, very strange. 16 ounce, 20 ounce, 23 ounce. You really didn't know what you were getting, where you went. It would always say this is how much the beer is, but you didn't know what size of beer you were getting. 16 ounce is something around about 470, 473 mils. So it's kind of halfway between a pint, English measurement pint, and a schooner. The 20 ounce, I think that's a proper pint. And then the 23 ounce is, hey, if I can get that, okay. but you didn't really get that one, but that was a big boy. So look, it was very confusing. You would order a beer, it would say a pint, you might get something this size, you might get something this size. You just didn't know what you were getting. It was a bit crazy. Anyway, sip time. Let's move along. The ugly. These are only just little whinges from Dean. But the macro beers, back to that. And I'll tie it in. I will say this here. I'm going to tie it in with the World Cup sponsorship. How did FIFA allow, and don't start me on FIFA, but how did FIFA allow Michelob to become the beer of the World Cup? Oh, horrible, horrible stuff. So I'm going to put a picture in of a Michelob that was given to my friend in the pub. It may have looked like he's taken a sip out of it. I promise you he hasn't. This is how it was handed to him in the pub. Now, we were told by people you should have handed that back, but you'll see it. It was the flattest. It looks like apple juice. That's what it looks like. And that was Michelob. We drank it at the game. Look, on a stinking hot day, if it's ice cold, yeah, okay. But otherwise, what a horrible beer. But there was so many others. You had the Coors Light and Miller Lite and honestly, I'll probably look up a few names, but I had no interest. As I say, I stuck with the Guinness. But the macro beers, terrible. The pours, terrible. Everywhere we went, they would fill the glass up to the top, but there would be no head whatsoever, and it looked like there was basically no carbonation in it. Any Americans out there, this is the time to chuck it in. Dean's not rubbishing you completely. I loved it over there. I loved it, and I drank the Guinness. But is this how you drink your beers? Do you just drink beers with no head? I mean, when you go to a craft brewery, yes, you're getting a properly poured beer. But in the normal pubs, they would fill it right to the top, like it was spilling as he's taking it over. But there's no head, there's no carbonation. It's just awful. Nath abandoned so many beers. He was just like, nah, can't drink this. This is awful. Anyway, what is going on? I think that is it. Yes, I've complained about Michelob, whatever it is. Ugh, terrible stuff. But look, there you go. That's about it. That's my whinges. I hate finishing a video with whinges because that trip was spectacular. So I'm not going to finish like that there. I will go back on it and say, what a trip, what a country. The city's magnificent. The people, magnificent. You've put on a show. It's not done yet. Unlucky that you're knocked out of the tournament at this stage, but my God, you should be proud of yourselves. You've done a great tournament. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it was a bit of a different one. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Put a few comments in there. Do you agree with my goods? Do you agree with my bads? Do you agree with the uglies? Tell me why I'm wrong. As I say, it's just my experience. But overall, it was the most amazing trip. I had so much fun. It's nice to be back in Australia, but by God, we had some fun. And it was hot over there too, so can't complain. Stop it, Dean. Stop talking. Finish. Okay, I'm going to say Slainte and a welcome back, Slan.